What's up? Once again, I'm David. I play in New Politics, and we're going to give you some crazy or funny or weird moments that have happened on tour with us that we can think of right now. I'm going to start with a story where we were driving across Nebraska, or one of those big giant states. We're driving, and our tour manager at the time, he was in all these pharmaceutical pills. For some reason he would always do that. Yeah, like, and he had like major stomach issues. So we're driving, and it's like getting really late, and he's been holding in, you know, the for forever. And at the end, you know, there stands like gas station. He's like, finally, you know, it's one of those places where you have to gas up on your tank or you'll get stranded. So it's like, then we can tank up as well, and everybody can do what they have to do. So we get off the highway, and we, you know, take a left over the bridge, and we're driving down, and we pass this gas station that's just closed down. And we're like, it can't be that. Why would a trashed old gas station be closed down and there's a sign still? Let's keep driving. It's got to be farther down. We're driving for, you know, half a mile or something. We get like to a mile. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's pitch black. It's in the middle of the night, 11 or something, 10:30, I don't know. And he's just like, I can't hold it. He's like, stop the car. I'm going to go out on that field right there, and I'm going to do what I have to do right beside the road and leave the lights on so I can see. And we're like, all right, go do your thing. So he goes out of the car. The smokers all go out to smoke. You know, we've been in that car forever. And I'm sitting up front here, shotgun, together with the driver. And the driver was like a guy from, you know, southern Midwest, and he had like the thickest accent and was like totally correct, never cussed, never, you know, he was just like a really good guy. So I'm looking at the window, and all I see from the rear is I just see lights go off, blue and red lights go off, sirens, without the sign, without the sound, just the lights. The guy beside me, the sound guy at the time, he was like, oh, I cannot believe this. Just our luck in the middle of nowhere. And then I look, and I see our tour manager like this, and he's like, he looks up like this. He changes like 4 colors. You know, you hear like the officer or whatever, like
come on the loudspeaker. Yeah,
like get out, like stand still, stop what you're doing, this and that. And he's like, and he has like these napkins and stuff. And he's like, I just see him like, and he's like, you know, and he like throws it out and stuff. But like the lights, you know, the lights, it's so dark that the lights taking up so much space. And then this, you know, this officer comes walking up to the front seat. While the officer's walking up, he like goes over to the smokers, and he's like, give me a cigarette, give me a cigarette. I see him just panicking like this, and he's like taking a cigarette and stuff. And then we're sitting up there, and then this, you know, officer comes. The officer turns around, and I'm like, oh wow, and it's this blonde girl. And she has like this light, and she's a sheriff or whatever of the you know, the county or whatever. And she's like, what are y'all doing here at this time? You know, this is I'm just checking up. This seems kind of awkward. Scott's like, the sound guy at the time, he's like, we just had to take a break to smoke. And then the guy that was taking the poop, the tour manager from here, is like, oh yes, how can I help you? Well, you know, trying to take control of the situation. And then she's like, yeah, what are y'all doing? And he's like, oh, just taking a cigarette break. We're a band, we're on tour, and we haven't smoked. We needed a break. We've been driving all day. Then I just say, all honest from Europe. I'm like, no, that's not. Don't lie. Come on. She could read through that like, you're gonna get in trouble. Just tell the truth. And then she's like, oh, what is it? What is it? What is it that you guys are doing? Because I see a lot of toilet paper or napkins flying around on this private property here. He's just like, I blew my nose. I'll pick it up. I'll go pick it up. And I was like, no, you did not. You had to go. Nature called. You had to go. The sound guy starts cracking up, gets so red in his face, and she's just like, oh, you guys embarrassed? And I was like, don't be embarrassed. It's a natural thing. We all do that. You know, it's like, yeah, the situation's embarrassing, but there was no gas station. I'm trying to be all logical about it. She starts laughing because the way that I'm talking about it, all the Americans are like just red and like, oh my God, and yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry, and this and that. And she's like, you guys are a funny rascal or whatever, rascally bunch or whatever she said. She's like, all right, I'll let you slip on this one. So she's like, she lets me off, and I'm like saying that doo-doo is natural and the paper is natural and it will be fine, and you know, and you know, and in all honesty, that's what's happened. And then she's like, that's all right. So where are you guys trying to go? And then we explained, oh, we're trying to get, and she was like, all right, follow me, I'll take you guys. And then she like drove us, and like it just became a funny situation that we remember forever. So that was one funny story. We don't have embarrassing stories and crazy stories yet with women and stuff. And if we do, we keep them for ourselves. Another funny story once was, we played in Alabama. We were coming from Tallahassee, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
In Florida, and we had to play in Birmingham, Alabama. So we were driving up, and in the middle of nowhere, the van breaks down. We're stranded there for about half an hour in the middle of nowhere. It's hot and ugh. And we get out the van, and the first sign we see It's like, America, love it or leave it. And then we're like, whoa, and all the Americans are like, whoa, we're really down south now. For us, it's just an experience, and we love it all. And Scott was like, that's damn right, you guys don't get that twisted. So we're like, we're calling this guy, you know, the AAA and this and that. There's no AAA in the area, that's how small the area is. So they call like mechanic, and he comes over, and it's this guy like, I didn't understand a word. He's like, he comes up to me, and then he's like missing teeth and just like overalls on, just totally like, you can see he's been working with cars all day, and he's like, you're trying well, look at that, sir. And I was like, excuse me, can you talk slower? And he's like, you roll that one over there, so tell us, so check it out. And I was like, do any of you guys, sorry, I honestly don't know. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not from here, this and that. He's like, what? And then the person's like, he wants to check out the motor. And I was like, or the engine. I was like, all right. So he lifts it up and he looks, and then he turns around and he looks at me again. I don't know why. Then he's like, go out with the transmitter and the Mexico will fight out without a rootin'. And I was like, what? So he says, don't worry, it's Spanish. R.I.P. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's done. So he takes it, we pull us, and we're driving in the middle of, he put it up on this big van, so we're not allowed to be in there. So we were in the back of the trailer, which is connected to his car, just sitting in there like, we get there, it's totally busted. We're in the middle of nowhere, so we can't make it to Birmingham. So we're like contemplating on canceling the show. He sees us like on the phone trying to like work this stuff up, and then he comes up and he's like, he'll drive us. And we're like, what, for real? And he's like, yeah. So we get in the car, we pack all the stuff we need. The complicated thing about it is it's going to take 2 days to figure out, you know, to find a solution. And we had a festival in Dallas the day after Birmingham, so we had to drive all night. It was like a 10-hour drive. So there was no way we could do it. And he was just offering to drive all the way to Dallas. And so I was just like, what? So anyways, he ended up driving us, and we made the show. While we drove over there, they booked a car, which we then drove to Dallas. And while we were over there, he just got so drunk and wanted to continue driving us to Dallas. And we're like, Charleston, his name was, you should go back to your family. You've been amazing. This is a story we'll remember forever. You're an amazing guy, got a big heart. And it was great. He was such a sport and really great. So anyways, that was a great story as well, a funny, memorable story.